Hi, this is Tina from Pilates 1901, and I'm sitting here with my girlfriend from, high school?
High school, yeah.
We actually went to high school together. This is Jill Tupper, and I'm so glad that we're sitting here talking today because she kind of came into my life about 3 weeks ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
She walked into the studio, and I was so happy to see her because she wanted to, believe it or not, do the Pilates fat loss formula. So everybody has a goal, and their goal is personal. And she walked into the studio and said, I want to find more about this. And she came to the Metabolism 101 workshop, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And evidently she liked what she heard, so she's here today. And I just wanted to ask her a little bit about how you heard about us.
Okay.
And what it's done for you so far.
Well, I think it's really easy to hear about you, Tina, all around the town, because you are really a guru when it comes to vitality, health, and wellness.
Good,
and people love your energy.
Thanks.
So I needed a group. I've done all this before. I know what to do as a life and wellness coach. I know how to take really good care of myself. However, I was in a bit of a slump, and I really wanted to do it together, and I wanted your energy.
So you had a personal goal, and you had heard about the program, obviously. And so the component that really appealed to you, besides our connection,
right,
was the community of it.
Absolutely. It really was the community. The idea of doing it together with other people, cheering each other on, although we're all different shapes, we're all different sizes, we have different goals. The fact that we're really coming together because we want to kind of let go of small baggage.
Right.
You know?
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up because I think that the most powerful thing about our fat loss program is not just the Pilates. I want to say that. I think it's the Pilates and the fact that when you walk into our studio, it's kind of like Cheers. We know
exactly,
your name.
Exactly.
And we know your goals.
Yeah,
so I always
you're
say,
exactly right.
Be careful what you ask for because if you tell us what your goal is,
yeah,
we're going to stay on you till you get it. But anyway, so Jill's been in the program. Do you mind if I tell your stats?
No, it's great.
We just just weighed and measured, and she's been doing the program for 3 weeks, and I'm sure she's had some ups and downs before, but she's lost 5 inches already, 2 pounds on the scale. But she's changed her body composition 2% in just 3 weeks, which is fantastic. So that's great. So the physical part is great, and Jill, being a life and wellness coach, brought something to my attention. She said, I love the community. I love 1901. I love that you have the goal setting and the assessment and the reward system. But her background is in my body connection, and she said, I think I could bring something to the program that maybe you don't have fully fleshed out. So I said, bring it, girl. Come in and talk to me. So she did. And I just want you to tell them a little bit about what we want to add to the program. We're really excited about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, because it's exciting. I do think the mind-body connection is essential. And what happens, Tina, is that we go through so many different emotions around food. Food just isn't just fuel. And so it's kind of fun to begin to take a look at that. And what I am hoping through taking a look at more the mind and body connection, what happens with myself and my clients, is that when we begin to shift the mind, then the changes in the body are more lasting.
Right.
That they really stick with us. Because often we can lose weight and then we tend to return to old habits, the familiar. So we've kind of come up with 4 F's to being fabulous.
4 F words?
4 F words.
Okay, all right.
I think they kind of fit your style.
Okay, all right. All right, so start. What are the 4
Okay,
F
all
words?
right. So the first one is familiar. Familiar, funk, and all that junk. So when we're in that familiar funk, we really get comfortable with the way things are. So much so that it's scary to break out of the way it was, even if the way it was wasn't a good thing.
So even if they come to the studio and they say, I really do want to change my diet, and then kind of the honeymoon period wears off,
right,
and then there's that drawback, despite their best intentions. It's an emotional component.
Totally, yeah, and it's really a centrifugal force. Okay. I mean, it is pulling you back. Emotionally, usually you'll go through significant swings, and it's usually becomes something that's a connection for you. I mean, for me, I was dating Ben and Jerry quite frequently.
Well, I hope they tasted good.
They tasted great. But what I loved about them, I mean, I really did realize I had pulled to them so much so that they were getting really well attached. Right here, Ben, and right here, Jerry.
So how did you break up with them?
I broke up with them. I've tried to break up with them on and off, and I would go back because of the relationship, actually. Ice cream brings me comfort. Right. And chocolate is, to me, food of the gods. So those 2 things I could do as a triathlete, as a marathoner, without any issues until I kind of went through a kind of a major bump in the road.
Right.
And a lot of us have gone through major bumps in a road. And then I began to really realize I've gotten a little too comfortable with Ben and Jerry.
Right.
So I did a final breakup, but I really couldn't do it on my own. I needed Pilates 1901, the fat loss program, to do together. And it was miserable. I mean, I felt awful.
So you had to withdraw.
Oh my.
Were you heartbroken?
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much really, really challenging. Those first 10 days, 2 weeks. And I'd broken up before and I'd never had this difficult of a slump before. So that was really, really rough. I felt like lead. I felt crummy, but I knew to hang in there because of the group, because of us doing it together. Then it started lifting and I started feeling a little bit better, which was a good thing.
So the first F word is no matter what, we're going to have that draw back to familiarity.
We're going to be drawn back to what's familiar, and it's junk. It's all that junk. So what we want to do is recognize what's familiar. We're going to really talk about that in depth and begin to help unhook us from all of that so we can be free.
So what's the second word?
Okay, the second word is funky feelings. And that is because once you start to pull away what's really familiar, you go through these spikes of funky feelings. You go to, oh my gosh, this is great, to, oh my God, I'm never going to make it. And so the feelings are really all over the place. Usually you'll feel a lot of anger, sometimes resentment, sometimes bitterness. And old stuff often comes up emotionally when we're letting go of excess weight physically.
Really?
As well as when we're letting go of the kinds of things we've self-medicated.
So even Ben and Jerry's could have been a medication.
I think they really are.
Okay.
I think there's no question in my mind. I mean, a little Ben and Jerry goes a long way. I was just indulging, going to bed with the guys late at night.
Yeah, I get it.
So it wasn't pretty.
Okay.
It wasn't pretty.
So when we change when we draw away from the familiar,
Right.
and we try to change, then sometimes some of those tap down feelings can come up.
You know what? I don't even think sometimes. I think they do.
Always,
I
okay.
think they always surface, and then we that's when it's really easy to back off from whatever goal we've set, and we start to feel like we're a failure. We tend to feel like we're never going to make it. And so those ups and downs, if we begin to understand them, we don't take them quite so seriously, and we can allow ourselves to move through them.
Right. So failure, that's not one of our F words.
That's not one of our F words. It's freedom. Freedom is our F word, baby.
Okay, freedom.
Not failure.
Okay, so freedom to get away from all the old habits, from the feelings, the bad thoughts, and things like that. So
really, the stinking thinking that really keeps us packing on the comfort foods because we feel crummy enough.
Right.
So I think it's a cycle that we're really talking about. When you're trying to break out of the way we've done things, it takes extra oomph on the emotional, mental piece to begin to align with what you're doing physically.
So that's why us creating an extra group for giving people that structure and that support and that consistency is what we're trying to do, right?
I think it's exactly what we're trying to do.
Awesome.
So then our third one is beginning to see food as fuel. And you know what, when we begin to understand our relationship with food and what was really designed behind it, it really does begin to shift and lighten the load in the way which we connect with it.
So you kind of put food in its appropriate
I think that's
role.
a great way to say it. It's appropriate role for what it's really meant to do. I mean, we only have one body to live in. Whatever we've got, we've got.
Right.
And we can't move out for renovations.
Right.
So we've got to hang in there. And so it takes time to really renovate the old. The older we are, the less we've renovated. It takes some time to really do that.
Just a shift.
But begin to see it in a really healthy, life-giving way of what food's really meant to be. Living foods, a great, living, vibrant life.
Right.
And that's really what we're doing.
Yeah, so just being mindful that food is not just an emotional crutch.
Correct.
Or something that we reach for mindlessly.
Correct.
Yeah, that it actually becomes like important what we put in our body.
And we become very mindful. When you become mindful, there's this appreciation for yourself, for your choices, for life, and you begin to feel more of the real you, the real essence, I think, of your vitality. What you're meant to do and be in the world really starts to continue to...
Like you resonate more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Body, mind, all coming together.
Yeah.
Rather than this fight within ourselves.
No, I think that's 100% right.
Yeah.
Is there a
really
fourth F?
Yeah, there is a fourth F, and it is fit and fun to be around.
Oh,
And I love that because the person that we spend the most time with
is us.
is us. That's not always a good thing.
Yeah, you can be fit and not be fun to be around.
Exactly. And
Just
I know those people too.
It's fun to be around. So
Exactly.
that's right.
And I think when we feel like we're away from our goals, when we feel like we can't reach them on our own, we really lose that fun factor. We stop being able to laugh at ourselves. We start to feel, it continues to, again, down that spiral versus up.
Right.
So the downward spiral is the one where it takes us to disempowerment, to all the negative thinking about ourselves. And what we're working on in this program, which we're kind of playing around with the idea of mind-body connection to lasting weight loss, your 4 F's to freedom.
All right, I love that.
And a fabulous you. And so what we're doing is when we're learning to really enjoy, laugh at, not take ourselves so doggone seriously, then we start to enjoy who we are. Then everything comes to us. All those things that we've been looking for, wanting, relationships, job opportunities, just things start opening up.
Because we let ourselves open up.
We let ourselves open up, and we're letting go. Really, weight is excess baggage.
Right.
It's stuff
Literally.
that most of us are carrying.
Yeah.
I can tell you what this stuff's all about.
Yeah.
And it's time to let
For
it
me
go.
too, yeah.
Exactly.
And there are, sometimes there's just so many wonderful things come together in your life, and it's easier to do. But sometimes it's not. So sometimes you have to be part of a group, and so that's why we're going to start this workshop. It's going to be 4-part series.
We're going to do 4 parts, yeah.
And it's going to be on Thursday nights at 7 in this
That's right.
very room, right?
That's right. That'd be great.
And the first one we want to just give you guys. We want you just to show up.
be
I
great.
want you to come talk to Jill. Jill will have everything lined out for you. I think, just as part of this group, and also people that aren't part of the group, right? Other people
Absolutely.
can
You know
come.
what? I think anyone who is really feeling the need to deal with the mind-body connection, I think it'd be perfect. Quite
So
frankly.
if you had a friend that if you're in the group and you have a friend, or that you know somebody that can just benefit by being
Right.
in a group where to this,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Okay.
More the merrier. It'd be fun.
Okay, good. So it starts on Thursday, October 27th.
Yep.
At 7 o'clock, and then we're going to have a 4-part series. And for that 4-part series, it's just $60.
That's
Because
right.
the first one's free. Just come
That's
and show
right.
up, and
Fun.
and the group is so much a part of the group, right?
Oh,
so,
yeah,
So
exactly.
it's who shows up, and we have an agenda sort of, but
Yeah.
we also it's open, right?
Yeah. Well, and then come and do your hit.
Yeah.
I think that's a great
Oh, that's a
idea.
great idea.
Add that on
Yeah.
because that'll be another motivation to get to the gym.
Yeah, so you can, if you didn't get that, come and do your high intensity cardio.
Right.
Get your rewards parts, and so you can come and do that before, like at 6:30, right before
Yeah.
the thing, or stay after what. So you can come to your cardio workout and come with Jill and I and work this program.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
do it. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Will you tell them a little bit about your business too?
Well, yeah, I'm a life and wellness coach
Okay.
and a speaker. And what I really do is the body-mind connection. I used to be a former occupational therapist, and I have my master's in leadership. And I've been a life and wellness coach for over 10 years.
Awesome.
And I've had phenomenal results with my clients.
Okay.
They usually come in, they're usually highly motivated, they're successful, they're incredible people. I love my clients,
Right.
just like I know you love yours here.
I do.
And they're really amazing people, but often we need someone on the outside to kind of help recognize where we need to move towards, or more like a mirror,
Right.
helping us move in the direction that we really want to go.
Just to shine a light.
Yeah, so I feel really blessed in my work. I love it, and it's all about, my greatest passion really is for everyone to reach their full potential, myself included.
Well, that's a powerful statement.
Yeah.
It is. Well, also, Jill agreed to be one of our rewards
Yeah, be fun.
partners. Yeah, so she's going to
Yeah.
give to the first 5 people to reach the 350 number.
Yeah.
$35 gift certificate towards your first session.
That's right, that's right.
First coaching session.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Be
So
great.
anyway, we'll put you in touch with Jill, and you can come to the workshop and meet her if you haven't already. And we welcome everyone. Please, everyone that wants to be part of this, come.
Be great.
Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Thanks. You're so cute. You do that so good.